I think we should get together, we should organize, get our dollars and our penny change in there, and start to actually have a say in things.
AJ Epinesa was hanging out with us at Target.
Actually, yeah,
and he actually mentioned that news to us today, and we told him that Bills Mafia is going to stand up, and we're going to buy 25% if that's what we have to do.
Zachary Reed and Avery Eastman weren't the only Bills fans who heard about the news that owner Terry Pegula is open to selling a minority stake in the team. In fact, all over social media, Bills Mafia near and far saw this as a perfect opportunity to get their seat at the table. But I hate to break it to you, Bills Mafia, it's not that simple.
Yeah, the NFL rules don't permit large numbers of fans to buy into teams, doesn't permit small amounts to be purchased into teams.
But Dom, Green Bay Packer fans own stock in their team. Why can't Bills fans do so? Well, pump the brakes, folks. That's an ownership model that Green Bay was grandfathered into way back in the 1920s. And that community-based ownership model with more than 530,000 stockholders doesn't come without its flaws in the modern day.
There are some similar models in soccer in Europe. Barcelona, Real Madrid are two that come to mind. But those are the exceptions, and at least one of them, Barcelona, is in deep financial trouble right now. It's not really a model that even works well in the current sports environment.
There's also the NFL rule that sets the maximum amount of partners that can have ownership of a team at 25. So thousands of Bills Mafia members pitching in to raise money won't work.
But what can't be done is like one person representing 10,000 members of the Bills Mafia and saying, all right, I've got their money in and I'm now going to be an investor. That doesn't work in the NFL. They look through that to what the source of the capital is.
Something to keep in mind is whether it's one person or a small group that shows interest in minority ownership of the Bills, they have to see the team as a way to not just make money, but as a partnership that will lead to the team staying competitive in the rapidly growing NFL landscape for years to come.
Whoever comes in has to be comfortable with the Bills' financial situation, that has to be comfortable with the future of the NFL and the Bills, and has to be comfortable with Terry being the control owner making all the decisions.